Hey, howdy, hi, y'all. Welcome to Baddie Bar's Baddies Pride. And this is our game Chasing Caspian. It's our game, our fairy game. We're going to have a lot of fun here today. I have some incredible performers with me, and I am deeply, deeply looking forward to introducing you to this incredible story I've been wanting to tell for months. And I have the perfect cast. I cannot ask for more. So I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves and we'll get right into it. I will start with who I see first on my screen. Let's go with Emrys. Introduce yourself and tell people who you are.
Hey everyone, my name is Emrys. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm super excited to be a part of this Baddie Bards production. I am a newbie, tabletop gamer, uh, gardener girly, mental health therapist, and just I'm an all around bad bitch. So I'm excited to be at the table with these lovely folks.
All right, beautiful. Okay, next on our list is Shauntelle.
Hey, I am Shauntelle B. You can find me pretty much everywhere at Shauntelle B. I am a doer of pretty much anything and everything creative. So I'll stream, I'll game, I'll write, I'll draw. I'm also a therapist, so same. And also, you know, bad bitch also. Pronouns they, them too.
Period.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Period.
So bad bitches left, right, and center is what I'm
Bad
seeing.
bitches.
Okay, next on our list is not Shauntelle, sorry, Coco. Introduce yourself and tell people where to find you.
I'm your girl Coco. Pronouns is she, her. I am one half of CocoMocha Productions as well as Epiphany Dice. You can find us on TikTok. I also go by Yaya Canthar, which is my OC character over on TikTok, part of Fresh Haven Council. And yeah, I'll be doing stuff. And I too am a bad bitch, like 95% of the time. Don't catch me on that 5% though.
Hey, yo. Okay, so last but certainly not least, we have Garnet. Please introduce yourself and tell people where to find you.
Hey y'all, I am Garnet. I am a filmmaker and I'm just all over the internet. I'm sure you've either heard my voice or seen my face in something somewhere because I cannot stop playing these games because they're amazing and it keeps me sane in these trying times. I am I mean, if you really want to go to my Instagram, you can, but like I'm barely on there and it's just me posting reel after reel of doom scrolling. So maybe don't do that to yourself because I'm doing it for you. But if you want to hang out with me, check out my Blue Skye where I give hygiene tips and sometimes I say cool things. Also, I say this every time I go somewhere. I promise you, my live skeet little blurbs that I do of shit I should have watched already will continue very shortly. We will be picking back up with Secret Invasion, I promise, because I need to see Samuel L. Jackson just do random stuff and run around on a green screen. Otherwise, that's me.
Wonderful. Okay, great. So this is my cast, and I am Alix. I probably should have introduced myself before we got into this. Whatever, fuck it, we ball. Hey, howdy, hi, y'all. My name is Alix. I am the GM and executive producer here over at Baddie Bards, and I will be your Mistrex of Ceremonies for this incredible story that we're going to be telling together about a fairy circus. This is Chasing Caspian. We are going to be using the Under Hollow Hill system. And it's our first time running this particular system, but it's one that's near and dear to my heart. I'm a big fan. So without further ado, we are going to hop right into it. So I invite all of you to envision a morning. The morning air is heavy with dew, clear and fragrant as the world around you wakes. There's birdsong in the meadow of the sunlit caravan of parked wagons in all colors, shapes, and sizes. Some are pulled by large field mice, some by miniature fluffy hamstring with the birds that pull them. Some are as old and as warped as the oxen that pull them. The camera pans down on just such a cart. Strapped to the front of the cart is grazing with a cheerful smile across its mouth. It looks over a large shoulder at the door of the wagon as it opens, and its occupant takes a deep breath. Describe your character and what she's doing for us.
Mwonaji, that's who I'm playing. That's Mwonaji, but Aji for short. Aji is a very earthy, like flow type of fairy. Definitely a shimmery, sparkly. As earthy as she is, she likes all of the things to be perceived. And so, but she's not a morning person. Yes, she is. She's very much like, we doing this again? Like, we gotta, every morning, huh? Every morning. Okay. I guess we gotta get the day started.
And as you step out and you're on yet another morning where you have work to do and a show to put on, you look to the side and you see another wagon, regal at the same time, and it's got two big bulls with strong shoulders and proud chins staring up. The next person in our caravan, Emrys, could you please describe your character and introduce yourself?
Hippolyta is inside of her wagon. Yes, her wagon has a vanity inside. She is putting pins in her turtley and arranging her silver headpiece just so. She puts on a deep, rich red lips herself in the mirror. As she stands and turns around, you see that she is dressed in a cream-colored blouse with a sweetheart, goes down into a velvet corset of the same color, but etched with golden threads and detailing along the bodice. Tall and currently wrapped in the same cream-colored tights, and on her feet are dainty gold slippers that match her trunk, rummaging around to find one last piece. And as she does, her hand touches on something she did not intend to find. Tarnished hand mirror. She starts to reach for it and then draws her hand back and shoves it to forest green sheer cloak that she wraps around her shoulders and clips to her blouse before turning around the flap of her carriage. Morning, Naji.
Hey, boo.
How you doing?
It's morning, child. It's never gonna change.
If you ever do, I know something is terribly wrong.
Clock that.
she turns and goes back.
Beautiful. And so as Hippolyta and Aji pass their morning greetings and get ready, the camera pans to the left to a smaller carriage, a smaller wagon, covered. It's clean, and it has the creature pulling this wagon is a small mare, a small horse. By like playing, snapping at the butterflies that are flying around in this meadow. And we see the door to you. Would you please introduce yourself, describe your character, and tell us what they're doing, please?
Steps out of their wagon. They've been up for a couple hours already. They've been stretching, limbering up for the day. They are up and they are amused by Aji. They are a buxom, quite petite that sprout from their back in a sort of golden orange kind of color. They, despite being buxom, they often see in those muscles they are ready to work. They can work, but at the same time they have a lot of delicate finesse. And so as they come out, they laugh at the fall having its fun, and look over at how'd you sleep?
Oh, you know, I'm all right. I can always stand to get some more. It's a new show, so we're here. We're cute.
Yeah. Yes, we are. Let's do it.
How long have you been up?
They were still there.
That is disgusting.
I know. And they cartwheel away.
I'm still just soaking it all in and getting ready.
So as Mazwagon in our caravan, this one is very small. And it is known to be incredibly smaller than it actually is. And at the front of this carriage, this golden carriage of ebony wood with massive stag beetle pulling this carriage forward. And inside this carriage, in one of the beds, there are another member of our troupe. Garnet, would you please introduce your character and tell us what they're doing?
So, Morgana Dawn is laying in bed, has not woken up yet, is refusing to acknowledge the sun because it is soft, it is warm, and just 5 more minutes. That's all she wants. Just 5 more minutes to feed the beetle. Will one hand just sort of out from underneath the covers and pull them down, like force them. Deep blue, almost navy locks, just kind of a mess because someone once again forgot to tie her hair up. and looks over at and will poke her head out the front of the wagon and toss a snack to the stag beetle, alleging the sun, and just blooming just a little bit, like flowers sort of sprout out of her locks, and will then begin to get dressed.
Beautiful. So as wind blossom, a little puff of fragrant air comes from them and their stamens. As you walk back into the carriage to get the other bed in this carriage perfectly made, as though no one slept in it last night. And the carriage has 2 doors where you can like acknowledge the stag beetle. And the one to the front is slightly opened. And you know this bed, the Moonshadow Menagerie in general, this bed belongs to Caspian. But it doesn't look as though they slept there last night. Your troupe. So you all have a show today, and there is much to prepare. So how do you begin? What start?
We are currently on the move, right?
No, y'all are parked. Y'all are ready to start your...
So I will I'm going to pull a card and try to tap into the weave.
Okay.
So she takes one card, she looks at it. Unveil your truth.
Oh,
So she's like,
interesting.
heavy sigh, counts to 5, and then she walks out to go see what's cooking for breakfast.
Beautiful. So as Aji walks out for breakfast, are you following Aji to breakfast? How would you like your day to start?
Hippolyta pops back inside, and as I pop back inside, put my head to the side, and I just regard the look of contemplation on my face. And then I give a little twitch on my nose, golden wings just sprout from my back around the cape. They shimmer almost like they're metal shimmer. Very small. They look less like wings and more like a collar of iridescent feathers. I look at them, turn to the left, turn, and as I turn, my glance catches on the open trunk and the face down hand mirror. I regard it for a minute, and then I kick the trunk shut and gallivant off to catch up with Aji on the way to breakfast.
Nice. Sorry, Morgana and Mazarine, how would y'all like y'all's day to begin?
Truly, I have already had breakfast. I'm early. I might have a little sip of water, but I've done that. So I think I will start sort of portioning out the area and starting to set things down. Not going to do everything myself. That's not how this works. But I will get a head start on that. And then once I've finished,
For Morgana, how would you like your day to begin, darling?
Morgana Dawn is going to sort of like speed through breakfast, because someone has to make sure everyone knows that the circus rushes through the breakfast tent, plate in hand and running out. And what she ends up doing is going towards the outskirts of camp, and will just sort of haphazardly toss seeds just in the general, I don't know, I guess maybe 3, 4, 5 mile area. And what these seeds are going to do is, once they are all planted and she is back sort of in the center circus, she's going to sort of dig her hands in the center of where the giant tent is going to be for the main attraction in the circus. Put her fingers like in the earth and force all of those seeds to grow. And what is going to happen, because they're rapidly growing, the instruction on these is they are long ivy tendrils, and they are basically going to gently suggest that people come and see the circus by wrapping themselves around their ankles and dragging them whether they want to come or not.
That's terrifying.
Look, you're free to leave once you get here, but give us a chance. And since we don't have flyers...
That's so real. Okay.
Who doesn't love a quick little magic act that was, forced upon you? It's like street magic, but you can't escape it.
A forced free trial is crazy.
But it's free.
So
it's going to take a little while because it's still morning. So, folks have a chance to be out and about, get their groceries, whatever it is they're doing on this fine day. But once 5 o'clock hits, if you still outside, you won't be.
So you guys begin your morning proper. For Hippolyta and Mwonaji, for Aji and Lyda, y'all head into breakfast, and you see Annie Buckeyes. As a matter of fact, let's move y'all, shall we? Activate. We see Annie Buckeyes handling the breakfast area. She is currently flipping a pancake on the griddle. You smell bacon, you smell eggs, you smell fresh muffins and huevos rancheros, home fries, the whole nine. Annie Buckeyes likes to throw down in this kitchen. And you see her as she welcomes you all into the communal food space. And you see she gives you a small smile and a wave and goes back to flipping her pancakes on the griddle.
Morning, Annie.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm great now that I know that you're making breakfast. You got something for me?
I've got plenty for you, darling. And she hands you a plate of your favorite. What does she hand you?
She hands me a tall stack of flapjacks covered in butter, and I'm about to go drown them in syrup. And that is all. And she knows she makes them crispy on the edges, just like I like them. Mm-hmm. This is why you're my favorite. Don't tell anybody.
I won't say nothing if you don't, darling. And she keeps making more pancakes.
I look at her and I'm like, I'm right here.
You see Annie gives you a bashful kind of smile and hands you a plate of the pancakes as well.
So I lean in and I say, Annie, did you make any of that bean water you made the other day with the little sweet cream in it?
Ooh, oh yeah, I did make some of that. As a matter of fact, that's what has me so up and at 'em today. Here. And
Let
she
me
goes,
get a little bit.
yes, she goes and like fixes you a cup of like steaming hot coffee with plenty of cream.
And I I look and I'm like, yeah, that's why you're my favorite too.
Annie gives like a blush on her pink cheeks, and she goes, "Well, you two need to stop fighting over little old me." And that just like brightens her whole day.
Mouth full of pancakes. I'm like, never.
So I go and I sit down, and oh my god, Emrys, I'm sorry. What is your character's name again?
Hippolyta.
Hippolyta, there we go. Sorry. So I go sit with Hippolyta and I'm like, so this what we doing, bestie?
Always.
We claim
do this every morning.
I guess. And she just starts stuffing her face and sipping the coffee, trying to get some energy for today.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting beside her, full of energy, happy food dance in my seat, you know, rocking back and forth, bouncing, humming under my breath as I'm eating. Just like complete opposite, so ridiculously full of energy right now.
So I'm like, what has you all jazzed up today?
I don't know. I woke up on the right side of the bed this morning.
I was up again last night trying, just hoping to get some understanding of what the hell is going on between me and the weave. I still don't know.
Still nothing?
It's a sputter. I don't understand why it's not flowing like it used to. It feels like not TV. Hold on, I don't want to break the fourth wall. It feels like static.
And I know you've tried a lot of things. I can't imagine what it would be. When did you say it started again?
Oh, it's been like 3 months now.
3 months.
I pulled cards before I walked over here, and it says, I forgot what it says. Oh, unveil your truth. And I feel like this is just a cruel joke at this point.
Unveil your truth. What you think it means that you should tell people that you're having trouble with your gift?
Oof, gods no. If I did that, I don't even know if I'd still be here.
I don't think they would kick you out. We wouldn't kick you out for that. Everybody has trouble with their gifts. I mean, you can do other things. Like Lady Rosemary, she can tell fortunes. I kind of can a little bit. We can switch, you know, until whatever's going on with your gift is better. It's going to come back.
I hope so. And she just kind of takes another sip of her coffee.
I kind of like jostle her a little bit with my shoulder.
As the two of you share this moment of camaraderie, you hear like a very small voice, like sort of tittering in an indistinguishable fashion. And you hear like a very loud, boisterous laugh as Lady Rosemary makes an appearance. And just as you said her name, it's almost as though you summoned her. And you see her walking with her best friend and her assistant Whimsy sitting atop her shoulder as she heads over to Annie to grab some breakfast. Lady Rosemary brings the noise, if nothing else. She brings the noise. And finally, you see the twins make their appearance. They cartwheel into the room. Let's see here. Turn that on. They cartwheel into the room and begin speaking in twin which is to say their personal made-up language that works only for them. And you hear them sort of tittering amongst themselves. Cat, please. You hear them sort of tittering amongst themselves as they line up behind Lady Rosemary to get breakfast. And slowly but surely, the small table that you, Lida and Aji are at becomes filled with people. More people of the Moonshadow Menagerie slowly filtering in and making their way through. As Mazarine and Morgana Dawn have finished their preparations for the morning, this is the area where the announcements are made by the ringmaster, by Aji. So we see everyone sort of convening in this general area, gathering breakfast. The area becomes loud and raucous with the sounds of the people from this troupe enjoying their morning. And all of you notice that everyone is there except for one. Normally during the morning, people crowd around Annie Buckeyes for food. People crowd around Lady Rosemary for a laugh and a hug. But the general nucleus of the group always tends to be Caspian, your Lantern Jack friend, a small little pixie type fellow, and he's normally there. He normally is. And Morgana Dawn, you were in the carriage with them, seeing that their bed had been made up, but there is no sign of Caspian.
I think as I'm sitting there at breakfast, I look around and I'm like greeting everyone. I blow a kiss to Bitterbur. I, wink at Whimsy. And then I notice that Caspian is missing. And I turn to Morgana Dawn. Have you seen Caspian?
They weren't in the wagon when I woke up this morning. And I sort of knocked out early last night. So I don't know if they came to bed. I assumed that they'd passed out somewhere else. Because it bed looks the same as it did yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Probably passed out
I
under
saw him when I
somewhere.
was out and about. I didn't even see him when I was out planting my ivy seeds. So
Probably passed out under somebody.
Girl.
I haven't seen a walk of shame, so
Now y'all know they have a flavor of the week.
It's true. It
And
wasn't
in the last place that we went. There were a couple of trade that caught their eye. So there's no telling.
I mean, they would at least, if they were going off somewhere, they usually let somebody know.
right.
And I look around the table.
Would have left a note, something, but
yeah,
there was
or be
no
here
note.
by now.
Yes. How often does he miss breakfast?
Especially when there's bean water.
Mm-hmm.
I look down to the table at Lady Rosemary. Have you seen Caspian?
Oh, nowhere to be found, darling. I haven't seen him at all. Have you seen him? I was gonna ask y'all.
No, I mean, I haven't seen him. Aji says she hasn't seen him. Morgana Dawn, Mazarine, no, none of us have seen him. Not since, when was the last time I saw him? And I kind of get lost in thought as I'm trying to remember when the last time was that I actually spoke to Caspian.
So you tell me then, when was the last time you spoke to Caspian?
It was around, I guess, it would have been around And I kind of like pause as I realize I'm struggling to remember. And I turned to Aji. When was the last time we spoke to Caspian?
I'm gonna roll a d4. It's been. We've been traveling for about 4 or 5 days now. We haven't talked to him since the last time we stopped.
It can't be that long. Morgana's-on, when was the last time you saw Caspian since you guys had room together?
Now, you will have seen Morgana Dawn really struggling this whole conversation, trying to remember the last time she saw her friend, her roommate, this person who is so dear to her that is allowing her to stay in his space, which is so huge. And like flipping back through the pages of her like mental diary, and it's just like, he wasn't in bed last night. There was a lot of wine. I went to bed. But that was 3. How did I not? And then it can't have been 3 days.
3 days.
We shared a bottle of very nice wine. It was more like we shared 3 bottles of a very nice wine. And then I remember we both went to bed. He was there when I woke up. We had our show. It was our last show. He said he was going to go grab something. And then I don't remember them coming back to bed.
Did we leave without them? We can't have left without them.
No.
I remember them getting in the wagon, but that was it. Since we were traveling,
we were there. We were there in the wagon. We were drinking. I just don't remember where they wandered off to. The sun was rising. They said they wanted to go get a surprise for everyone. Maybe they're just playing a joke. They're playing a joke. They're playing a joke on us to see when we will realize, and then they're gonna pop out of something somewhere ahead of us because they will have fast traveled ahead of us and be so disappointed that none of us noticed.
I hope so.
I am going to wrap my cloak of feathers, just this long, deep blue, almost black raven feathers. I'm going to wrap it around me, turn into a bird, and fly up.
Okay.
To see if maybe they got ahead of us or decided that they thought we should stop somewhere else or something like that. I'm going to look around for them a bit.
Okay. Go ahead. We're going to have you do just that. So I'm going to actually have you do our first roll of the game here. We're going to have you roll to sniff the wind to see if you can find a trail of where Caspian has gone to. So go ahead and roll sniff the wind for me, please.
Seven.
You got a 7?
Mm-hmm.
So you have a choice of asking one of a few questions. Do you know what you see those questions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can ask one of those if you feel so inclined.
If I trust my nose to lead me to the heart of this, where would it take me next?
Ooh, that's a good one. So you're flying, you have your cloak wrapped about you, and as soon as the cloak closes in front of you, wings sprout and you shrink down just a bit into a bird. What sort of bird do you turn into?
A raven, but with navy feathers.
A raven with navy feathers. Beautiful. So you turn into this gorgeous navy blue raven, just a little bit, shrinking down just a bit. And you take off, a light through the skies, looking over the entirety of the Moonshadow Menagerie's place where you've parked in this meadow in the sunlit court. You fly up and around, and you begin to see people who, or fairies is more accurate. You see fairies from the sunlit court, from the summer court, walking toward where the big top is going to be, sort of gathering in twos, threes, and little clumps to see, oh, well, what's going on with the show? What's happening here? And as you continue to fly over and through, you fly past them and you see the path laid before you, a path of fallen leaves and crunchy underbrush and stiff winds. And as one of those winds flies past your beak, you inhale and you get the sharp scent of frost, cold air. So your nose, were you to trust it to lead you to the heart of this, would lead you to someplace quite cold indeed.
I will fly back down. Land and unwrap the cloak. I think they might have gone on without us.
What do you mean? They wouldn't do that.
Not too far though.
The air smells colder.
Well, yeah, we're heading into winter. Caspian wouldn't have gone into winter on his. No,
Not by themselves.
No.
I hope not.
I'm gonna ask Tiro. And I turn around. Tiro, where
Yes.
are you?
Hi. Yes, Miss Lida. What can I do for you?
Hi. Have you seen Caspian?
You see Tiro sort of frown at this, look a little confused, and say, huh. And you can see them like running it through their mind, trying to remember the last time that they saw Caspian. Finally, Tiro shakes his head straight and says, sorry, Miss Lida, no, I have not. It's been a very long time since I saw Caspian. At least 3 or 4 days.
3 or 4. Can you go ask around the rest of the troupe and just see if anybody has seen Caspian more recently than 3 days ago?
Of course, Miss Hippolyta. Absolutely. And you see he jets off and begins like talking to the people in the troupe just in general, trying to see if anybody has seen Caspian.
Mm-hmm.
So as Tiro takes off, you see, as Mazarine saw, there are people, fairies, coming from the summer court, and they are making their way downtown, walking fast. They're making their way toward where the big top is going to be. And you see the leader of this court make herself known as she steps forward, heading toward the front of the area where y'all have eaten, where y'all are eating and convening. And you see her sort of like peering around, trying not to appear too conspicuous, but very conspicuous in her regality. She has dark skin and coal black hair piled on top of her head and holding her crown in place. She's got glowing orange and pink and yellow monarch butterfly wings that have like stripes of blue and like veins of black going through them. And she wears a long silvery like gold kind of gown with red at the bottom, as she looks like a sunrise or a sunset depending on how you view it. And she steps forward now, looks at all of you and says, well, the Moonshadow Menagerie has arrived at last. It seems as though it's time for the world to fall asleep. Thank you all for being here.
I nod in acknowledgement, and not forgetting the years of training and teaching, I give a gentle curtsy.
You see she returns the curtsy in kind with the exact same amount of respect that you've provided to her. And she says, so, when can we expect the show to begin?
We're just putting the last of the finishing touches on everything. And I'm like, very much like smiling, pasted on, trying not to let my anxiety about Caspian come through.
As Aji is about to acknowledge, is she a queen?
She is the leader of the summer court. So yes and no.
Okay.
She's just head fairy in charge.
Head fairy. Okay. As Aji was going to acknowledge the head fairy, you start to see like her eyes start to move very quickly. She starts to hear like this sputtering in her ear, and like Raven Baxter, her eyes just kind of disassociate, and she sees Caspian like laying on a leaf that almost looks like it's dying. And then she kind of snaps back. And where is everybody's proximity to me? So I know.
I'm pretty close. I didn't move.
That would be right beside you.
Okay.
I was close, but as the leader of the summer court came closer, Morgana just sort of slowly started backing away, and with royalty whatsoever.
Fair. So and I grab Mazarine, and I'm just like basically letting them know I just had a vision. We actually have to go and do that like right now. So we're gonna just head out. But the show is gonna be great. And I like turn and like hustle with Aji's hand in mine back towards Aji's wagon.
You see the Dawnbringer gives you a polite little wave.
I just saw him.
Where?
All I saw was them laying on a leaf, but the leaf looked like it was dying.
were moving into. Was there anything else? Or was it just the leaf? What kind of leaf was it?
Laying there on the dead leaf.
What kind of leaf was it? That could...
It had 5 points. It was one leaf, but it had 5 points to remember.
Like in a star?
And there was a purple center to it. That's all I remember.
So what I'm gonna ask you this, but it's up to you if you want to put that move. You are welcome to throw the bones if you feel so inclined, so that way you can potentially get more info. Okay.
Absolutely. So I'm like the bag of all things divination. She grabs her bones and she throws them.
So go ahead and roll your 2d6.
And it would absolutely help if I had my playbook up. That's under moves, right?
Yes, yeah. And you would click the one with the little sunburst behind the person. There you go.
There we go. Sorry. It was a 2 and a 2 initially.
That's fine. So either way, it is a miss. So what we're gonna do on a miss, you can ask one question. Any question that you have, but I'm gonna let you know what goes wrong after that.
That's on brand for Aji.
Yeah, very correct.
I would like to know, is it just the leaf dying, or is it the entire area where Caspian is being seen?
That's a good question. Yes, it's the entire area. Yeah.
So
but what goes
that
wrong, as you are relaying this, you get another vision of Caspian again on this leaf, but this time Caspian is looking at you. Not passed out, not asleep, looking at you. And you see a smile, and then Caspian begins to melt. So that is what goes wrong with your vision.
Like Elphaba, I'm melting, oh what a world.
Yeah,
or
like
I'm melting because I'm so in love.
No, begins to Elphaba melt. Oh what a world,
Okay.
Oh what a world. Yeah, Elphaba melt, yeah.
Okay. So I snap back from that vision and I start freaking out.
Fair.
What happened?
What's wrong?
I saw them melting. They're melting. Why are they melting? They looked at me and started melting.
Are you sure it was
you
that?
can't be cold and melting.
Do people usually melt in your visions?
No.
Oh.
Okay, you said they looked at you and then started melting?
From the eye. They didn't melt it.
Okay, but like, also we know Caspian likes to play tricks. Do you think maybe that they're just messing with you? They could just be messing with you even in your vision.
But we don't know where they are. Why would they play around if we don't know where they are?
How did they look? Did they look happy, sad, angry? Like, did they look like "come find me"?
You said they smiled, right?
No, they looked confused.
Oh, okay.
And scared.
They They were not happy. They looked confused. They looked scared. They looked like they needed help and then melted. So Aji is not only concerned and scared for Caspian, she's also freaking out because why am I tapping into the weave when I'm not trying to? Why are these visions happening when I'm not trying to make them happen?
Mm-hmm.
So, as the four of you convene, trying to figure out exactly what is going down with your friend Caspian, why they're melting, why Aji is tapping into the weave when she's not trying to, where to begin. You hear the rest of the troupe, you hear a trumpet. Burr, 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 announcing that the big top has been put up, that breakfast has been concluded, the Dawnbringer is gone at this point. Bitterbomb and Butterbur are cartwheeling around going, "Showtime, everyone! Showtime!"
Not now. Not now.
We can't
Sure
perform
has to
without
go on.
Caspian.
We have to.
All right, but we gotta find him.
We gotta find him.
We'll keep looking.
We will. We'll find them. We'll find them. But
We
they haven't
Which
melted. That's a vision,
Right,
right? That's a
yes.
vision. It's metaphorical.
and okay, I'm gonna no disrespect, girl. You know I love you, right? But like, how accurate have you been lately?
Points.
The visions are accurate.
That
It's
cold
the
wind.
cards. The visions are accurate. It's the cards that are.
Okay. Like I said, no disrespect, because like I
fine,
don't
it's
know.
fine.
I grow
Get it.
plants.
I get it. It's fine.
Speaking of which, if you're having trouble with the cards, like, and then she just pulls out like a baggie of mushrooms.
What you got?
These aren't
You
crazy
got time
strong.
to work. That's what you got. You got time to work. We got things to do.
Like,
I need to calm down. I had a lot of bean water.
oh,
Oh,
you
no.
don't want these. You don't want these yet. She hands her the bag. Take those before bed tonight. You want to calm down, and then just out from the locks. Here, smoke that over there.
Okay. So she takes it and she just walks away, like melting.
She'll be fine.
Will she?
Yep. Super calm in like 30 minutes.
Okay.
We may have to move some acts around, but be fine.
She's the ringmaster.
We may have to move some acts around.
Yikes.
So as Aji walks off, this is actually the time when we're going to take a break. We will be back in 15 minutes to see whether or not the show goes on. So we will be back in 15 and we will continue and tell more story then. Everybody smile and wave. Hey y'all, we are back. Thank you so much for bearing with us while we went to go be human beings. So the last we left off, our beautiful fairy troupe had come to the conclusion that Caspian is missing. Aji had a terrifying vision and went to go smoke about it. And now we begin as fuck, right? So now we begin in our big top, where you guys see the entirety of the troop sort of tittering about, doing what they're doing, people going hither and thither, carrying things, like transporting things back and forth, like rings and barrels and animals. You see a griffin sort of walking around, and the stage is set up. People are filtering in, fairies are filtering in, with the Dawnbringer and her retinue right at the front. So, how would y'all like to proceed? What would y'all like to do?
Well,
You
as
just see-
everything is getting set up, I am kind of standing by the door helping Lady Rosemary to kind of get people in the door and, like usher people around while Lady Rosemary is vigorously frisking them in her role. That's where I am.
Yes.
I'm just over here.
How you going there, Rashi? You good?
Yeah, I'm gonna be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And she's just like, she's just trying to center herself. Just, I'll be fine.
I'll just use my cloak to. Okay. I'm gonna be up high. I can't have any of that.
You don't need to do that.
Uh-oh, you're muted, baby. Nope, still muted. Hold on. Nope. Okay. We are going to, because I can see your captions. So the microphone is picking up something, but I'm not. Audio settings. Okay. We might have to, we're going to be right back in 2 seconds. Tech Goblins. It wouldn't be a Batty Bard stream if there were no Tech Goblins. We will be back. We figured it out. It's fine. We're good. Okay. Anyhow, so for you, Morgana Dawn, where are you as the big top is being filled with people?
Morgana Dawn is sitting at the very top of the big top, very much like a puppet master, with all of the ivy that she had planted earlier, literally just sort of calling it back home to herself. And most of them have fey creatures attached to them. They're very gentle about it. It's taken some, a couple decades worth of practice, but most people come in with very little dirt, bugs, or injuries now.
Nice.
To just being drawn into the circus.
And you see people that are people with ivy and people without ivy sort of shuffling through, and as you call this ivy back to you. So as you begin, I wanted to ask y'all, do y'all want to utilize a circus power? You do have the option of acknowledging or celebrating a change in the roster, which is to say, in this case in specific, it would be acknowledging that Caspian isn't here. It's up to y'all, your circus.
I think so.
Think so?
We need to.
I think we need.
Yeah. And because other fake creatures who are coming, maybe expecting to see. I have a different mind, sis, to make it look like nothing's wrong. Maybe we can say that Caspian is filling a different role in the circus tonight. not that Caspian is missing. Like, blah, 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 you know. And is, you know, with the majority filling a different role tonight.
Okay.
That may be
I
the
just
move.
were expecting Caspian and they're not there, and we don't say anything about why they're not there. That's gonna make it a little bit more suspicious. So I feel like if we just say blah, whatever it is, that will be less suspicious. What do folks think?
Okay.
I think that might be the move.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds unanimous that you guys are going to acknowledge this change in the roster. Is that right? Okay. Beautiful. So, oh, no, it's just little old me.
Nervous.
No, not at all.
Oh, DM.
Begins, you have the option of making that announcement. Whomever would like to make that announcement, I default that to y'all. I do have the playbill pulled up or out of order. Whoever would like to do their role first, please let me know, and I'll follow y'all's lead here.
I would like to start as the
Okay.
so Aji is calmer than what she was. She's not at 100. So there's hairline and she's taking deep breaths and she digs back into her pouch and she pulls out her cards again. She starts and then she pulls out one more card. Like, okay. What are we doing? She pulls it out and it says the opportunity. Take it. She kind of feels the hair on the back of her neck kind of stand up just a little bit. She takes one more puff, blows it out. Here we go. Greetings, all. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Moonlight Menagerie. I am your ringmaster, Mwonaji.
How is the crowd? Give me 1 second. Let me see if this is a move or if actually. Let me see something. Because there might be a thing. But thus far, the crowd. So, what you can do. You can. As it stands, the crowd at this precise moment, it seems receptive. They seem very energetic and very energized at the fact that this show, everybody knows that you guys were coming. Everybody's very excited. The Dawnbringer even gives a polite clap of her hands, looking very regal and excited to be. Mwonaji, it's something that they do every time that you introduce yourself.
Okay, so she flies because glitter kind of just trails behind her. So she flitters up and her to the crowd. She's like, I'm going to blow your minds with the power of mind reading. And she's like, how do I know everybody here is going to focus on one color? Don't worry worry about that. Just be amazed. So, should we do this?
I would love, or
Okay.
draw them out. One of those two, whichever you prefer.
Okay. Let's. Okay, computer. Come on. Ew.
What we got?
Yes.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay.
Lay the bear.
So that's a 9, which is really great. Okay. So you get to choose one of those 4 for this crowd.
So, DM, can I throw some flavor into this?
Please.
You hear me?
Please. Let's go nuts. Let's throw some.
Okay. So, trick to how everybody's going to be amazed. She's basically going to make them see whatever was on their mind. It's not that I. So on the count of 3,
Okay.
I throw fairy dust, and the color that was already in their mind, it sees whatever color it is they thought about.
Interest. Okay. So you literally hear the crowd go, ah, and start losing their shit as everybody starts speaking in different, and they're like, oh my gosh, how did you know? How did you know? It's this huge kerfuffle. Everybody seems quite pleased with your act.
Sweet. So once the kind of flitter back down and I'm back at center stage with the lights on me, and I let everybody know, for those who were hoping to, they are, did we come up with what they were doing? No. So, great. The moment I mentioned Caspian's name, the melting came back into the forefront, and I freeze. Caspian, and I comes on special assignment this time around, so unfortunately, they will not be in the big top with us today.
You hear Dawnbringer's oh, drats, like that. Caspian is a crowd favorite. It makes sense. So yeah, you do hear he's still pretty jazzed for the show.
Okay. So sorry to disappoint. Amazing acts for you tonight. So sit back and get ready for the show. And then the lights dim. And then I flitter away.
Somebody say Mwonaji for real. Okay, so who would like to perform their act next?
I'll go.
Okay. So,
Yep. Yeah. Walks out in a spotlight of whatever that color is that everyone was seeing. But is try to make them blink.
Ooh, yes, yes, yes. Go ahead and roll 2d6 plus 2, please. A 12!
Gonna make them blink.
All right. On any hit, you choose one of those following, and you also take +1 forward. So play whatever your next roll is. You take +1 to your next roll.
Okay. So I walk out. It's almost as though what they see is what looks like me ripping my wings off and throwing them away. And then they blink, and I'm standing up on a tightrope.
Oh, that's dope.
That's dope. Okay, big fan.
And so from here, it is a case of I'm a dance. I'm going to do a dance. I'm going to dance on this rope.
Hell yeah! So you do your little shimmy shake on the ropes, whatever, what have
shimmy
you.
Shake, do some cartwheels across the rope. Having pulled those wings off, if I fall, I fall. That's what happens
true.
there. So
that's really dope.
Yeah. I don't know if I need to roll something different, but
well, this game is very roleplay heavy, but I think you're good in this case.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's what happens there. I do a full. It starts out as ballet, slips into hip hop, comes back to ballet for the end.
Alvinelli would be so proud.
And at the end there, I fall. Or it looks like I fall.
Yeah.
Blink again, and I'm in that spotlight again.
Beautiful. Beautifully done. That's so cool. I'm just like picturing, that's so dope. Anyways, so the crowd loses their goddamn minds. They really and truly do. When they blink the first time and they see that color that Aji had given them to see, and your wings have gone, they've disintegrated, but you're up on this tightrope dancing hip hop ballet, and it's really it's really incredible stuff. They've never seen anyone dance like that before. You're on point, do a plie into a dab, like whatever is clever. It's very cutesy. And so the entire show goes on and you see jaws dropped all up and through the big top. People are really enjoying your time. And when you finally you stand and you're in your finishing pose and you fall backward and land with your wings intact into a perfect bow to the crowd, and they go, losing their minds. It's an incredible show. So next on our playlist, playbill. In our playlist. Sorry, next in our playbill, we have Morgana Dawn. Would you like to perform your feats?
I would be honored. Yeah. So now Morgana Dawn has been outside on top of the big top this whole time. So the ivy that was dragging people to the circus has basically coalesced into this giant ivy beanstalk looking thing, which has like formed a pathway coiling down it in the center of it, so that ivy has basically wrapped itself around the center pole in the big top, and that is where she descends from there. With just a little bit of sunlight as she walks winding down. And as she does, she creates from the ground 2 elementals who are carrying just a big old chest. They place it down, they set up the wheel, even as she's very slowly walking down, just letting people like watch these elementals she's created do their thing. They strap her to this wheel, and they just pull out a bunch of really shiny silver knives. And while she is strapped to this wheel, spinning in a circle, these elementals just start hurling them at her. And because she's controlling them, she can control how they're throwing it. Now, mind you, she is in fact spinning in a circle, so that is the feat, because she has to control where they're throwing so she doesn't accidentally stab herself.
Yeah.
And the final one, she has them sort of stop spinning her, and she just still strapped arms and legs to the wheel. The last dagger is not made out of silver. It is in fact made out of very cold, unforgiving iron.
Oh no. Okay. I'm at the edge of my seat, literally.
And we shall end this performance with what will hopefully not be my death. And one of them just reaches its very viney hands up and spins her as fast as possible. And then it starts, it's got digits, and it counts down the entire big top from 5 down to 1, and at 1 the other one throws it.
Oh. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. So, what happens as you make a hell of a fucking entrance? People see your vines, your ivy sort of twining down the big top, growing down as you walk down it. And these 2 big, shuffling, lumbering elementals holding this chest of silver, shiny, pointy things. And they shuffle forward, drop the chest with this huge boof, like this huge thunk. Loud, reverberates through the entire big top and makes people in the crowd jump a little. You even see the Dawnbringer go, oh my. And they go forward and open this chest as your feet finally touch the stage, and you walk towards the wheel, and they lash you onto it. And one of them latches you on while the other one takes a whetstone to one of the blades and starts sharpening it just as politely as you please. And then the one that has lashed you to the wheel spins it very quickly and the other throws the knife, and thus the feats of daring begin as you control these elementals throwing knives and swords and all kinds of sharp and pointy things in your general direction. None of them are as dangerous as the last one, where you have said this to the crowd that you hope that this does not end with your death. And the final elemental holds up a veiny hand and counts the crowd down from 5 as they go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and through the air sails this iron blade. Where does the blade land?
Just barely missing my left ear.
And it lands with a swing, and you hear it vibrating right next to you. You can feel the absolute frigidness of the iron. And it reminds you very plainly of that frost that you smelled before. And it feels in your bones like death. As the elemental takes your arms and your legs off of this wheel and you step forward, how do you dismiss yourself from the crowd?
So I'm gonna raise my hands up, and in a very exaggerated bow, the vines are going to engulf me, and then we all disappear. The only thing that's left that clatters to the ground is the iron dagger.
Period, bitch. Let's go. Okay. That's so kind. Oh my god. So yes, you and your vines, they twine around you as your elementals shuffle into the center of these vines and dissipate. And the vines twine around you and yank you up and you disappear. But you've gone before the crowd can see what's happened. So essentially it just looks like you disappeared into a puff of vines. So as you move forward, the next on our list is Hippolyta. Who would you like to perform your act now, or would you want to allow NPCs to as well? It's up to you. Totally up to you.
What I would like to do, if this is amenable to everyone, is given that dazzling performance by Morgana Dawn, I would like to use this moment to use the circus power to captivate the audience and inspire them to largesse after that amazing performance by Morgana Dawn. So that is what I would like to do first.
How do y'all feel? We've got a unanimous. Yes.
Love that. So I will walk out into the under the big top, under the lights, and I will look at everyone, and I'll be clapping the entire time as I walk out. That was amazing. Can we say how amazing that was? I don't think you all are cheering loudly enough for my friends. One more time for Morgana Dawn. Come on, give them their flowers, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm just kind of standing there, kind of like hyping the crowd up, encouraging them to, like, you know, somebody throws like some coins and I'm like, yes, that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. Like basically like encouraging everyone to continue to basically hype up the crowd for Morgana Dawn's performance.
Yeah, absolutely. And the crowd loses its shit. They were loud, like, and very excited and exuberant before, but now they're standing on their feet. You hear people pounding on the stands and like throwing their hands in the air. You see people throwing coins, people throwing flowers, people throwing other people. It's just there's chaos in the damn big top at this point. You see glitter, you see people are really and truly feeling the hype here.
Wonderful. I've got Tiro with the collection plate, passing it through the audience, picking up coins off the floor, throwing them in there, and I'm like watching.
Absolutely.
Like,
real quick, can we also have Tiro pick up the iron dagger I left when I left? Because I don't want that going missing. I need that back in my trunk, safe and sound.
So yeah,
Can we have him return? Can we have them return that to me, please?
Yes.
Picking up the other people that were thrown.
So you see Tiro as they're walking through the crowd. You know, they just pass the plate and tell people to pass it down. And if they know that at the end of the road, Lady Rosemary is there to grab the collection plate. And they're going to turn and just walk under the big top. They're picking up all the various people who are laid out, still clapping, helping them back to their feet and just gently ushering them back into the audience. And before they take their leave, they walk up to me. They unbutton their double-breasted doublet that they're wearing. They open one flap like a shady street hawker. And inside, everyone can see that there are two rapiers. They unsheath one of the rapiers and hold it out. They flip it over by the blade and hand it out to me by the handle. And then they do the same with the other one. Close their doublet. They bend down, pick up the iron dagger with a gloved hand. And then they bow to the audience and they exit backstage.
Beautiful.
I'm still dressed as I got dressed this morning in my cream colored sweetheart neck leotard and tights. I have put a short kind of ballerina style skirt with tulle underneath it, very stiff, it's very much giving like Swan Lake or the Nutcracker style stiff ballerina skirt, but mini. And I reach up, unclasp one side of my forest green cape, unclasp the other side. I whip it around my shoulders and throw it up in the air. And as I do, just sparkles follow it. And as it comes back down, I hold one of the rapiers out and it falls over the blade and splits the cape in half to demonstrate just how sharp and fine a point and edge is on this rapier. Ooh. I hold up the one, look up, look back down. I wink at the audience, and as I wink, the blade in my raised hand catches fire. Ooh. I lean back, open my mouth, and slide the flaming blade down my throat. And I just kind of hold there for a moment.
Oh, and the crowd has lost it.
Still with the blade, I turn my back to the audience. I raise my other hand up with the rapier, and it alights as well. I clap my hands together, and suddenly there are two flaming rapiers in my hands. And then I start to lean back further and further and further. And I fold into a deep backward bend until I can look out and see the audience behind me. And I would like to stand regal before them in that moment.
Yes, you would. Let's get some rolls going. Let's do that. Because that's some regal shit.
Let's see. That is 11. 6 and a 3 plus 2. Yes.
Okay, beautiful. So choose your 3.
So, in that moment, as I stand regal before them, I fold into this bend and I stop, look out in the cloud, my eyes scan from left to right and back. And then I continue to bend. I, all the way over, plant the two flaming rapiers into the dirt. And I complete a full and elegant backflip. As I land on my feet, I turn and brandish the two flaming rapiers before everyone. And then I fold into a forward bow. And then I take the two rapiers and I throw them at two targets that are behind the audience. So everyone in the audience kind of jumps back, gasps, because they don't know where these daggers are going to land. And then I lean back, I pull out the other dagger. And as I pull it out, the flames follow it back up and out of my mouth. And I say, thank you all so much for coming to our performance tonight. Please stay, eat, drink, make merry. We love to have you here. And then the lights go down. And all that you can see is still that flaming rapier just kind of upright in the air.
That's insane. Okay. So this is what happens. All of that transpires because that's fucking dope as shit. However, as you tell the crowd to stay to make merry, you can hear a pin drop in this big top. And then you hear this huge shuffle, of a bunch of movement as everyone, and I do mean everyone, including the leader of the summer court herself, the Dawnbringer, takes a knee. Immediately takes a knee. Standing in front of this glorious flaming rapier, you see them all take a knee and bow their head forward, almost as if hypnotized, as if by pure happenstance. And as the lights dim, they come back on and you have gone. And in your place is an itty bitty little mouse, Whimsy, holding a tiny little top hat, ready to do his magic show. And the show goes on. So that was fucking dope. You guys are incredible. Sorry, I just had to note that. Anyways, so with the four of you, sorry, I can't count. With the four of you, having completed your acts for the show, with the exception of closing out the show, my question to you now is how do you engage with the rest of the acts, if at all? And how do you proceed when the show has done and you're ready to close it for the evening? Yes.
So I finished the mushroom that was given to me because I started freaking out all over again once I got off stage. So after seeing act after act and me absolutely losing my shit, I'm like, go bestie! That's my bestie! Go bestie! I've calmed down. I'm good. Good now.
Good.
So when you come back off stage, I'm like, you better go. Did you see? She took a knee. Did you see? Oh my God.
I never thought that would happen. Oh my gosh. Did you see that? She really did.
She took a knee. Hold on. My computer just did something. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
And there's a moment, I think, as Aji says that I remember that this is the first time that a courtier, right, has bowed to me in almost a century.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about the hand mirror in my cabin, and I just have a moment inside of my excitement, right, to be so honored by the leader of the summer court. So that melancholy also falls over me for a moment. And I think about how long it's been since I've been home.
I kind of see where her thoughts are going. And I like grab both of her hands and I'm like, we're okay. You still did the right thing.
You think so? You think I did? I don't know. I came across that mirror again today, like after God knows how long. And I was just thinking, like, maybe I'll look this time, right? Like maybe I'll look and it'll be something different this time. And I know I shouldn't get my hopes up that it's always the same thing. It always shows the same thing. But I just thought, anyway, I'm gonna go help Annie get ready. Annie get ready for her act. And I kind of like flustered, like turn away really quickly, and hustle off to go find Annie.
I like grip your hand kind of tightly one last time to kind of like send a little bit of energy your way, and then let you go.
I squeeze it back before I let go and take off to go find Annie.
I think from a distance, Mazarine watched that exchange, didn't approach, didn't say anything, doesn't say anything, but does watch that. And then goes off to listen and watch.
Watch the rest of the show.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. And Morgana Dawn, how do you proceed with the middle and end of the show?
So Morgana Dawn has discovered that the twins during their feats of the grotesque very much enjoy using some of her poisoned plants and like painful plants in their act, and is making sure that they have what they need prior to them going on. So it's very much a, you used too much of this last time. We're sick for days. It took forever for you to get better. I'm cutting it in half tonight because I can't have y'all throwing up just like vomit and diarrhea for 2-3 days. Is not okay. I realize we have a show to put on, but stop it.
Real.
It's the mom voice. Stop it for me.
Right. You see Butterbur and Bitterbalm look a little sheepish, and as they head on to do their feats of the grotesquerie, but they shuffle on out of there, tails between their legs, and they listen to you and cut it in and allow you to cut it in half and all that as they move forward. So the show goes on and continues, ending with Lady Rosemary doing a little bit of magic, just something like a puff of smoke to disappear everything out, and everybody begins to coalesce in the backstage area, ready to bow and thank the crowd for coming to the show.
I am kind of hustling. If anyone who looks can see me and Annie kind of like playing like back and forth, like trying to wrangle this griffin that keeps trying to go back out on into the center of the big top. We're trying to like catch it and get it like settled in its little area for the night so that we can go do the curtain call. And like I look at Annie and I'm like, go that way and this way, and like we kind of fake and then go the other way. We managed to kind of like catch it, and it's squawking good naturedly because we do this every single show. We play this
it's
game.
A game for the griffin at this point.
Yeah, so we get them wrangled and settled, and I like I have an ear of corn that I have tucked away, and they're reaching for it with their beak before I even have my hand out because they know I'm gonna give it to them. And they kind of like nuzzle me, and I like pat their head and kiss them. And then I grab Annie's hand as they kind of settle down with their corn, and Annie and I go out for the curtain call with everyone else.
Oh yeah, very cute. Okay, Aji, how do you close out the show?
So the lights come back up, still in the same colors that they thought about, because we like consistency. And so this time I create the illusion of like tarot cards flying all over the place as I walk through. And I'm like, how great was that? Have you been entertained? And I like lean my ear out to see what everybody's saying.
The crowd is losing their shit, going full tilt bonkers. They are indeed entertained.
And I'm like, that's what I like to hear. That's what fills my heart. Thank you so much for coming out, guys. Merch right outside. You don't want to miss it. It's exclusive. It's different in every show. You'll never find it again. Get it before I get it. And with that, the Moonlight Menagerie is finite. And then I take a bow and I like flutter all the way up to the top.
Yeah, and the rest of the circus comes out and takes their bows, and the crowd is standing on their feet, stomping their feet, cheering, ululating, making all kinds of noise, like going nuts, basically. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And you see the Dawnbringer gives a big wide smile and goes, well, thank you, everyone, like screaming out to and like gesturing for her court to head out to the merch tables because it's time to buy exclusive merch at Aji's suggestion. They didn't know it was exclusive. Now they do. Y'all are getting coined tonight, babes. So the people slowly filter out in 2s and 3s, and the lights of the big top go down, the people of the Moonshadow Menagerie begin slowly but surely packing things up and getting ready to head out tomorrow. And the evening passes, takes some time. Dinner is ready and being served by Annie. Everybody convenes in the same breakfast area that they were at before, long as after people have gone. And I would like everyone here, actually, to... I can't ask you for a perception roll. I'm thinking D&D brain, don't mind. But I will tell you, you could sniff the wind if you feel so inclined. I will tell you, however, what you hear, just for the freezies. What you hear, as all of you sort of settle down for the evening, getting ready to finish your dinner and head out, you hear footsteps coming toward the circus. But very slowly and almost limping. You just hear footsteps. And with that, we will close out for today and get ready to play more in session 2, chapter 2 of Chasing Caspian. Thank you guys so much for being here today. We will see you next Saturday. Saturday? Yes, Saturday. We will see you next Saturday with chapter 2. Thank you guys so much. Smile and wave, y'all.